YouTube, the time we have been waiting for is finally here. We finally get to try out FIFA 16 and get our hands on the gameplay and see all the changes from FIFA 15 to FIFA 16. So it's an exciting time, and I'm sure you guys all downloaded the demo and tried it finally on Xbox One. Everyone who had a PS4 was able to try it yesterday. I have an Xbox One. I do not have a PS4, and that's why I had to wait until today to put out my first impressions on the game. Now, one thing is, this isn't probably the final build. As most of you guys know, usually the demos are an earlier build of the game, so the final game that releases is probably going to be a little different. But with that said, I didn't see anything major that they will probably change in the final build, at least in my opinion. I think this is probably close to the final build. And really, I'm going to talk about the top things that I found to be completely different from FIFA 15. The first thing is shooting. As you guys see right here in that clip, normally in FIFA 15, if you dummy around the keeper and just slightly tap the shoot button, you would be able to put it under the keeper and score. So I'm glad they cleaned that up quite a bit. Now, this is on professional level or whatever, professional difficulty. So I didn't play on the world-class difficulty just to get a feel for the game. And again, another example of shooting. I thought that would be a power shot right there with Neymar, but he kind of did a finesse on his own without me pressing the finesse shot button. So that was a little bit interesting to see. Shooting is a lot different, and it will take some adjusting. Now, another thing that I'm happy about, granted that I used this quite a bit last year, the first time shot fake shot, or the first touch fake shot rather, when you would pass it and then fake shot right away to kind of disable the first touch, if that makes sense. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm just not naming it correctly. But the first time fake shot has been pretty much nerfed to the point where it's not worth using anymore. There are some scenarios where I was able to pull it off, but most of the time your touch on it is actually worse than just receiving the pass and then doing something after you receive the pass. So that's kind of nice to see, because I did think it was kind of dumb that it was in the game in the first place, but I did use it just because it was an advantage over your opponent. Another thing, body feints. Body feints have been nerfed quite a bit, in my opinion. If you guys have been playing and try to do body feints, you'll notice the animation doesn't really make you glide like it used to. If you guys had noticed in the past few years, if you did a body feint, you would just glide past your defender. It was so quick. Now it's got like a few extra steps to the body feint and step over so that you don't necessarily glide and you can't switch directions as quickly. And again, even though this is, I guess, bad to the people who, I don't want to say the word abuse, because I don't think people abused body feints. If you were good at doing body feints, I think you should be rewarded by, practicing body feints and perfecting them. Now, did they nerf them? Absolutely. Was it necessary? I think so. I think it became such a large part of the gameplay where if you knew how to do it, you had a big advantage, which again, I don't want to call it abusing, as the AI right there, if you guys see, that was an insane goal. Out of all my goals, the AI scores the best one. Look at that for a finish. Unbelievable. What a great goal by the AI, by the computer. So anyways, I'm glad they nerfed it, and we'll see how people will adjust to it. It's still, you can still use them, don't get me wrong, and they're still effective. They're just not as effective as they were the past few years. So we'll see how that pans out, and we'll see if it is in the final build. So we'll see how that goes. Now, another feature that they were hyping up all year was the no-touch dribbling. They constantly talked about the no-touch dribbling, and this replaced the close dribble. If you hit the LB button or the left bumper on Xbox, you know that it would turn on that close dribble. But that seems to be gone unless they change the button. I can't do the close dribble animation anymore. Now it's that no-touch dribbling, which I don't see the use for. Granted, I'm playing against the AI. Granted, we haven't played against a human opponent and all that good stuff. So far, I just don't see how it can be effective. I would rather do a normal skill move and see what I can do with it. I tried using it as much as possible with Messi. Here, as you guys can see, I could have probably scored that, but I wanted to see, again, the no-touch dribbling with Ronaldo, and I lost possession of the ball right away. So I need time to find out how and what ways it'll be effective, where to use it, all of that good stuff. So far, no-touch dribbling hasn't really impressed me. Defending animations, a lot more animations, which is always good. I'm glad to see they focused on defending a little bit more than usual. Pace, a lot of people say it's not as important this year. I will say this, where there are situations where you can push the ball away from right here. If you use the right stick to bump the ball away from you a little bit and then pace to get the ball, that is a lot better than it used to be in previous FIFAs. If you guys have usually noticed, if you did that in the previous FIFAs, you would notice that your pace would never, you would always lose pace and lose possession of the ball if you tried that. So it seems like they made that better, and a lot of people are probably going to use that to burst open into space. You probably just flick your right stick and get a nice little boost on the ball and then probably outpace slow defenders. So I don't think that pace is completely unnecessary. I still think it's going to be important, especially I haven't even played the foot draft mode, by the way. So I don't know what that feels like. That's going to be on the ultimate team mode, obviously. So it's going to be a little bit quicker, and this is kickoff, obviously. At this point, you guys probably noticed that. But we'll see how everything pans out with that in terms of pace. I would like to see, again, as I mentioned in my other video, I would like to see, and you guys can see the AI use that feature where you're able to hit the right stick and push the ball away from you and sprint to it. So I think it's going to be cool, and it's probably going to make pacey players really good at that. So we'll see how that goes. What else did I want to talk about real quick? Let's see. Oh, you guys did notice that I was slide tackling quite a bit just to see what it was like, and that is definitely back this year. I think slide tackling is going to be a big part of the game, and it's been gone for the past few FIFAs. I don't think I would ever use slide tackle other than a few times per game to maybe try to, last effort get the ball. But I think it's back. Near post shots don't seem to be as effective if you use the power. But if you finesse it to the near post, it still is pretty damn overpowered. With that said, guys, that's so far my impressions of what I've got. I've only played about 6 or 7 games, so I haven't played that many games. So this is a very early impression, but I wanted to put out this video to see what you guys have thought so far. Definitely want to see in the comment section your feedback on the game. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's better than FIFA 15? Do you think they took a step backward? So far, pretty solid. Lots of good improvements to the game. It seems like they made a lot of things that were just abused or broken or overpowered or whatever you want to call it, toned down. Over the top through balls, you'll notice a lot of the times the first touch is really bad. So you're better off just sending a ground through ball in that scenario. The quick pass is also really, really nice. I really like that feature, especially if you want to get a ball right before the defender gets there. But again, you have to pick and choose where to use it, because your first touch, if the guy is really close to you and you do a fast pass, the first touch is not going to be as good. Anyways, that's it so far for me. I will be putting out another video based on the Ultimate Team foot draft later, either today or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. Go through that, give you guys my opinion, and probably talk a little bit more about the game. Again, these are only my early initial impressions. This is not my final thoughts on the game. This is just based on feedback off of playing the game about 5-6 times against the AI, which is completely different, and against professional difficulty, so it wasn't even on world class. Anyways, guys, again, leave your feedback in the comment section below, and I'll see you really, really soon.